Good Tuesday evening, September 16th, and welcome to the NCWLIFE Evening News. I'm Grant Olson. Here are a few of the stories we have coming up for you tonight. The Chelan County Mountain Rescue team located a deceased hiker last week in the Dragontail Peak area of the Enchantments. Wenatchee Valley College could lose a share of its federal funding after the U.S. Department of Education moved to end grants for minority-serving institutions. Expect beautiful weather to end our summer with temperatures well into the 80s. Your full local weather forecast is straight ahead. Authorities modified the evacuation levels around the Lower Sugarloaf Fire, now at just over 18,000 acres and burning between the Chumstick and Entiat valleys. Fire crews used active burning operations to help further build lines around that blaze. Chelan County Emergency Management has shifted its Level 2 prepare to leave notices for the west side of the fire to stretch from Mary Canyon Road north to Fish Pond Lane outside of Plain. On the west, Level 2s apply to the Entiat River Valley from Ardenvore to Dinkelman Canyon Road outside Entiat. Containment on the Lower Sugarloaf Fire is estimated at just 11%. Another move to end COVID-19 vaccinations through the Chelan-Douglas Health District has failed. In a lengthy Monday meeting, the health board that sets policy for the two-county district rejected the measure brought forward by board member and longtime vaccine critic Bill Sullivan. The resolution would have ended the health district's programs for both distribution and promotion of the COVID vaccines. The board's attorney said it risked putting the health district in violation of state law and would leave many underprivileged residents with no resource for getting vaccinated. The measure failed by a vote of 7-2, with Sullivan and Douglas County Commissioner Randy Agnew as the only votes in favor. The Chelan County Mountain Rescue team located a deceased hiker last week in the Dragontail Peak area of the Enchantments. Chelan County Sheriff Mike Morrison says that rescue crews were rallied on September 9th after deputies received reports of 37-year-old Andrew Wong's failure to return home to Long Island, New York. He'd been scheduled to return to his home state 2 days earlier. Wong's vehicle was found at the trailhead, prompting a search of the area with the help of a hoist-capable helicopter from the Snohomish County Sheriff's Office. Once transported into the Dragontail Peak region, rescue crews located Wong deceased. The Sheriff's Office says his injuries were consistent with those from a fall. Yesterday, the Chelan County PUD Board of Commissioners announced its decision to extend the contract for General Manager Kirk Hudson. Hudson has been with the PUD for 28 years and served as the General Manager since 2022. His contract will now run through December 2029. The PUD says that Hudson's leadership has helped them achieve many milestones, such as upgrades to local parks and innovation in the clean energy sector. Board President Steve McKenna said in a press release, quote, "Kirk is the right leader to guide Chelan County PUD into the future." Hudson's new annual salary will be roughly $467,000. When we come back, Wenatchee Valley College could lose a share of its federal funding after the U.S. Department of Education moved to end grants for minority-serving institutions. The winners of the 2025 Washington State Book Awards were announced today for their works published in 2024. And adult sockeye salmon migrating to the Canadian Okanagan River Basin now have a better chance of surviving and spawning thanks to a successful trap and transport project carried out in July. I'm Grant Olson, and you're watching the NCWLIFE Evening News.
Your favorite local channel is now available for free on your smart TV and connected streaming devices. Watch live programming and catch up with the latest shows on demand. See the local stories that matter to you. NCWLIFE, now on Roku, Fire TV, and Apple TV.
Hi, Hi, I'm Amanda Walden with A. Walden Insurance Group. Medicare can be overwhelming, but you don't have to figure it out alone. I've been helping people understand their Medicare options for over a decade. Medicare isn't a one-size-fits-all. I'll help you understand your coverage options so you can feel confident in your decisions. Let's find the right Medicare plan for you. Call me today or come and see me at my office located on South Chelan Avenue in Wenatchee between the YMCA and the Social Security office. I look forward to meeting you soon.
Merry Maids can clean your entire home, business, or vacation rental from top to bottom, inside and out. Merry Maids will even take care of cleaning your carpets, and they can pressure wash your home. Merry Maids has thousands of happy customers. They've been cleaning homes and businesses in our valley for over 25 years. Check out their glowing reviews at merrymaidesofwenatchee.com and call the cleaning experts, Merry Maids, to get your free estimate. Your satisfaction is guaranteed. So relax, it's done.
Now there are even more reasons to meet at the Pybus Market. Outdoor dining and tastings, the fabulous Farmers Market, Saturday artisans on the concourse, and your favorites all week long. No matter the reason, it's always time to meet at the Pybus Market. Pybus Market, where community meets.
Wenatchee Valley College could lose a share of its federal funding after the U.S. Department of Education moved to end grants for minority-serving institutions. The Education Department says the move follows a Justice Department decision back in July when officials argued the programs don't meet constitutional standards. Wenatchee Valley College has been using a $2.75 million grant for a project supporting Latinx, low-income, and first-generation students. Senator Patty Murray told our media partner, the Wenatchee World, that the decision was a politically motivated attack that puts politics ahead of students. The college says it's assessing the impact and exploring its options. The winners of the 2025 Washington State Book Awards were announced today for their works published in 2024. Kashmir middle grade author Dan Gemeinhart was named a finalist for his novel Coyote Lost and Found, but was not selected for the top honor. Best in Fiction was awarded to Seattle's Katrina Carrasco for her book Rough Trade, and Best Young Adult Literature was awarded to Bothel's Scott Kurtz for his book Table Titans Club. The remaining winners and finalists can be found on the Washington Center for the Books website. Adult sockeye salmon migrating to the Canadian Okanagan River Basin now have a better chance of surviving and spawning thanks to a successful trap and transport project carried out in July. Conducted in partnership with the Chelan County PUD, Grant County PUD, and Canada Okanagan Nation Alliance, the pilot project traps sockeye at Wells Dam on the Columbia River and transports them by tank truck across the border to the ONA's hatchery near Penticton, British Columbia. Elevated water temperatures where the Okanagan River meets the Columbia can cause sockeye salmon to pause their migration or die, but thanks to the project, 105 migrating adult salmon were successfully shipped across the border for spawning. Coming up next, the community planning nonprofit Our Valley, Our Future has a new leader waiting in the wings. More on that in tonight's feature story. Sunny and unseasonably warm weather is expected right into this weekend. I'll have your local weather details coming up, and Eric Granstrom will take a look at all the day's sports as the NCWLIFE Evening News continues right after the break.
Your favorite local channel is now available for free on your smart TV and connected streaming devices. Watch live programming and catch up with the latest shows on demand. See the local stories that matter to you. NCWLIFE, now on Roku, Fire TV, and Apple TV.
Welcome to Mountain Chick Floral, your go-to flower and plant shop in downtown Wenatchee. Explore their wide variety of unusual and fun plants. And when you buy a plant in a container, they'll pot it up for you absolutely free. Birthday or weddings, they'll create the perfect floral arrangement for you. Brighten up your office with fresh blooms delivered to your door or business. Ask about floral subscriptions. Visit Mountain Chick Floral today, where every occasion is a reason to celebrate with flowers.
Is your yard outdated, overgrown, or just not working for your lifestyle? At Bailey's Pro Landscaping, they specialize in transforming ordinary outdoor spaces into beautiful, low-maintenance landscapes built for Central Washington living. From custom designs to full installation, they bring expertise, creativity, and craftsmanship to every job. Your yard has potential. Start your project with Bailey's Pro Landscaping.
Caught in a conflict? Family? Workplace? Neighbor? Business? Housing disputes? Wenatchee Valley Dispute Resolution Center provides mediation services, a cost-effective and efficient way to provide a written resolution to disputes and issues. Plus, we offer mediation training and community education on conflict resolution and communication skills. Contact us to learn more.
The community planning nonprofit Our Valley, Our Future has a new leader waiting in the wings. Rachel Evie has been executive director of the Wenatchee Valley College Foundation since 2018. She'll join Our Valley next month as its first full-time director, just as the agency begins its 5-year action plan to catalog the social health of the valley. In tonight's feature story, she spoke with NCWLIFE News at the Wenatchee Valley campus about what she's looking forward to as she leaves one high-level job for another.
So I moved to Wenatchee in 2017 to work at Wenatchee Valley College. I'm extremely passionate about education. It can be such a game changer for any family. An individual getting their education helps them, their family, and the community at large, especially as a community college with so many of our programs tied to local industries. I've been executive director since 2018 and seen how much our community has grown and risen up to face the many challenges. And so when Our Valley, Our Future shared this opportunity for executive director with them, their first executive director, I jumped on it. I really wanted this position, and I'm so grateful that I got the position because I'm excited to serve our community in a larger role. Education is one of the focus areas for Our Valley, Our Future, so I'm excited that I keep my ties to WVC because it's just a big part of my personal beliefs and it's a big part of our community. And OVOF, of course, has a much broader scope where they're focusing on housing and economy and leadership representation. So I can't wait to see what the future holds. OVOF has been around for about 10 years. Steve Maher has kind of been at the helm as their coordinator, doing 2 different action plans that span 5 years. They're getting ready for their next action plan, which is going to be for the next 5 years. So I get to kind of shadow Steve, learn all the great things that he's done for the organization and how to get our community engaged, because that action plan isn't something that I'll come up with or Steve came up with or the OVOF board came up with. It is from thousands of community members saying this is the future we want in our area. When we talk about an engaged community, it's not just the folks who are doing it day to day in the work. Those community volunteers that serve on nonprofit boards have that additional perspective from their personal life experience and professional experience, whether they're business owners or they have families or if they've been in the valley for generations. That kind of whole representation is really important for nonprofit organizations like the College Foundation, like OVOF, to make good decisions about the future.
Time now for a check of your North Central Washington weather forecast. Hope your Tuesday was a good one. Beautiful day out there for late summer, which we are in now. Remember, first day of fall coming up on September 20th. And you could smell a little smoke in the air around the Wenatchee area today. But check out this shot from this afternoon outside our weather window up in Lake Wenatchee. You can hardly see the lake or the mountains surrounding the lake. There's Kaler Glen Golf Course. But even though we were in the moderate category today as far as air quality. Not the same for up in Lake Wenatchee. Here's our number from this afternoon, 56. And if we go over to our index, we are just barely in that moderate category. 0 to 50 is good. And some of the folks up Highway 97 in that good category this afternoon. But you could definitely smell it out there, especially this morning. So that'll probably continue into tomorrow. And for the next couple of days, we don't expect a lot of smoke, though, as we head into the end of the week. Beautiful temperature today, unofficially at 81 degrees. 77 is our normal high now. 92 our record high in that great year of 1981. 55 our low this morning. We're getting back to where we should be around normal for low temperatures. Normally we should be at 53. 39, our first 30 record for lows we've seen in a while, and that was set in 1992. Sunrise this morning, 20 minutes to 7. It'll set tonight at 10 minutes after 7. All right, temperatures as we get you into Wednesday. We're in for a warm-up the next few days. Upper 80s, 88 Moses Lake, Ephrata, and Quincy. 87 for Wenatchee and Entiat, and then a little bit warmer, Chelan and up into Omak, upper 80s there as well. Even 83 in normally cooler Lake Wenatchee tomorrow. Mid-80s for both Leavenworth and Cashmere for high temperatures tomorrow. Tonight we expect clear skies out there. Large Pacific area of high pressure keeping us clear, as well as a high pressure system in southwestern Montana. Look at those clear skies. Lows tonight around 60 degrees, so a little warmer than this morning. For Wednesday, sunshine and warmer. We're going to see highs throughout north central Washington, mid to upper 80s for tomorrow afternoon. As we get you into Thursday, we're not going to change a whole lot throughout this week. Mostly sunny, maybe just a wisp of high clouds for Thursday afternoon. We're going to stay pretty consistent with Wednesday's temperatures on Thursday, mid to upper 80s for readings in the afternoon on Thursday. And then as we end our work week on Football Friday, it is going to be a downright warm and maybe even hot day. Sunshine with high temperatures near 90 degrees, which will be well above where we should be for this time of year. Not a whole lot of changes coming Saturday, except a pretty strong trough of low pressure is building just off the Washington coast. We could see some high clouds, maybe breezy conditions Saturday, a little bit cooler with highs in the mid 80s. And then by Sunday morning, this is where things really begin to change. That little trough just on the Washington-Oregon border. It's going to throw some clouds our way Sunday morning, about a 30% chance of rain. That will die out in the afternoon. Partly cloudy. We're going to see some windy conditions Sunday. And look at those temperatures, mid 70s. And then for Monday, sunny skies. We'll see seasonal temperatures. Once again, a little ridge of high pressure building on Monday. High temperatures very comfortable in the mid to upper 70s. All right, your 7-day forecast now. 59 overnight tonight. And boy, just a beautiful stretch of days Wednesday through Saturday. Sunshine predominantly with temperatures 85 to about 90 degrees before we see some weather changes as we get into Sunday and Monday. Windy with a chance for morning rain on Sunday and 76, and back to normal weather on Monday with a high temperature under sunny skies, 77 degrees. And that's a look at your North Central Washington weather forecast. Coming up next, tonight's sports report with Eric Granstrom and more as the NCWLIFE Evening News continues right after this.
I'm Jen Mueller. Watch for my show, I Cook, You Measure on NCWLIFE. It's part cooking instruction, part entertainment, and all about connecting over food and wine with your favorite Northwest athletes.
Watch I Cook, You Measure with Jen Mueller Mondays at 1, Wednesdays at 2, Fridays at 11 a.m., and Saturday and Sundays at 10:30 p.m. right here on the NCWLIFE channel.
Handoff to Zielinski around the right side. Got away from one man, got away from two. Squirts between
High school sports is back this fall on the NCWLIFE channel. Watch Eastmont, Wenatchee, and Cashmere games right here. Coverage is brought to you in part by our Platinum supporter, Alpine Air Heating and Cooling. Also by Abby's Pizza, Apple Valley Honda, Dick's Heating and Air Conditioning, Global Car Care, and Highlander Golf Course and Grill. Watch high school sports on your local TV station, the NCWLIFE channel.
BC Outdoor Sport Fishing TV, Season 14. Join your host Mike Mitchell and his special guests as they explore some of the most exciting fisheries BC has to offer. BC Outdoors Sport Fishing TV. Check your listings for airtimes.
Your favorite local channel is now available for free on your smart TV and connected streaming devices. Watch live programming and catch up with the latest shows on demand. See the local stories that matter to you. NCWLIFE, now on Roku, Fire TV, and Apple TV.
Happy Tuesday. The Mariners are riding a 9-game winning streak heading into Kansas City today. Seattle improved to 82-68 with their 7-game home sweep of St. Louis and the LA Angels. Kansas City has slipped in the AL wildcard race and sit at 500 at 75-75. Logan Gilbert is on the mound for Seattle while Michael Wacha goes for the Royals. That game underway right now on Root Sports Northwest. Houston beat Texas last night 6-3 to close the gap with Seattle to a half game. In the American League West, the Rangers dropped to 3.5 games back. Well, the Seahawks are back home following an impressive 31-17 win on the road in Pittsburgh on Sunday. Seattle got its running game going against the Steelers as Kenneth Walker III rushed for 13 times for 105 yards and a score. Coach Mike McDonald says a successful running game is based on all 11 players finishing.
Our run game right now, when we're on the same page and we're targeting it right, and all 11 are determined to finish the play the right way and sustain blocks, we have an effective run game. When we're missing parts of that equation, our run game isn't where it needs to be, and I think that's very clear on tape. I think it should be a point of optimism for our guys to understand there's a lot of room for growth, and that play is an example of when it comes together, what can happen. And in my opinion, we should expect to score a touchdown on that play. You know, we got to get the safety blocked. And I think Ken can make that guy miss and go score.
Seattle's tied for second in the NFL with Cincinnati for fewest penalties with 11. Pittsburgh's 7 penalties leads the league with the fewest. Coach Mike McDonald was asked about how he coaches away from being penalized.
We have a spectrum on how we treat penalties here. There's cost of doing business penalties, where we're living on the edge and some things happen, and then there's some selfish penalties that we want to avoid as much as possible. So fortunately, I think we're limiting the selfish ones right now, which is what we need to continue. So what goes into it, I'm not really sure. I mean, you got to understand the rules. You got to coach it. You got to coach those situations that you're going to end up in. There's discipline involved. I think there's a connection that's required for us to play together. I don't know. Hopefully that's a good enough answer. I don't know. I wish I had the secret answer to that one.
Byron Murphy had one of his best games statistically since being drafted in the first round by the Seahawks in 2024. Coach McDonald says he was excited to see the reaction of his teammates on the line more than Murphy's reaction itself.
Yeah, I think we're looking at good process going into good result. So it's not like he practiced harder this week or he prepared any differently or anything like that. He's doing those things all the time. When I was most fired up about him was like to see how happy Jaron Reed is for his success, to see how happy Leo is for him to finally make plays, because those guys are the ones that are working with him and playing next to him all the time. So to see him have the production to back up his work ethic, I thought, and have them be really excited for him, I thought was the coolest part.
Seattle's defense was able to pressure Aaron Rodgers into 2 interceptions and 3 sacks. McDonald says that's about solid play up front.
Yeah, it's interesting. I think we take pride in being able to create pressure multiple ways. This game, for several reasons, we felt like not pressuring was the best thing to do to try to win us the game. Personally, a lot of it was how well our front was rushing and some of the coverage that we felt like we needed to play to limit explosives and just what we felt like was going to help us, going into the game. But we want to be able to do it multiple ways. Take pride in being able to pressure from off the ball at all different positions. But I think probably the cleanest answer is just how well the guys are playing up front.
Seattle's back home this Sunday to face the New Orleans Saints at Lumen Field. That'll start at 1:05 on CBS. 8 prep girls soccer matches take center stage across north central Washington today. Chelan is hosting Manson. Liberty Bell visits Okanagan, while Brewster's hosting Lake Roosevelt, and Pateras travels to Tonasket. The later games feature Davis at Moses Lake. Kashmir visits Wapato, and Cascade is hosting Bridgeport. NCW Life Channel will broadcast a Big 9 soccer clash between Wenatchee and West Valley tonight at 7 o'clock. Join Sebastian Moraga and Matt Wisen with the pregame coming up at 6:50. The Rams are 2-0, and this will be their first league match of the season. Wenatchee 1-0-1, and coming off a scoreless tie with Meade over the weekend. Well, a busy volleyball schedule already underway today with Oroville hosting Curlew. Cascade plays at Entiat, while Tonasket's at Republic. Eastmont travels to Sunnyside, while Othello is hosting Ephrata. Riverview is at Quincy. Wapato hosts Kashmir. Chelan's at Omak. Cascade hosts Bridgeport. Lake Roosevelt travels to Liberty Bell, and Waterville-Mansfield hosts Garden City Academy. 7 o'clock matches have Wenatchee at West Valley, and Moses Lake plays on the road at Davis. That's a look at sports news. I'm Eric Granstrom. Have a happy Tuesday.
And that will do it for this Tuesday edition of the NCW Life Evening News. Remember, you can find us at ncwlife.com, on our social media channels, or on our mobile app. Our channel is available on Roku, Fire TV, and Apple TV. Download the NCW Life app to your devices and share the news with friends and family. You can email us with news tips anytime at news@ncwlife.com or call 888-6295. I'm Grant Olson. Thanks for being with us, and have a great night.